Nowadays, it seems no matter where you turn, AI is constantly being mentioned. And while there are some that still may not be 100% sold on using AI, we're learning more and more about its benefits.
Yeah, here to talk with us more about the landscape and how AI will impact society in the years to come is founder and principal analyst at ZK Research, Zeus Kerravala. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
We're very good, thank you very much. This is obviously something we've actually talked about on the show at length here, the whole AI thing. Where are we going with this? Like if they're a baseball game, what inning are we in right now?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways the pitcher's just warming up. I think we're very early in the cycle. I think we're just learning what we can do with the technology. In fact, I've used the analogy that it's similar to the transition we saw when the internet got created, right? So very early on, I was actually in corporate IT at the time, and I used to get questions like, what's the ROI of the internet? Do we really need this? How do we take advantage of it? Businesses wondered that. And then, of course, the world changed with the internet, and it completely changed the way we work, the way we live, and the way we learn. And I think AI is going to do the same thing. But I think right now, we're still in the phase where we're learning what it can do, what it's good for, what it's not good for. And for that reason, I do think we're in the very early innings.
Yeah, Zeus, a big question many people tend to have is what will happen to jobs and how will the workforce really look as more tech advances? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's probably the single question I get the most, right, is what happens to jobs. The World Economic Forum last year in Davos published a report that said AI would eliminate 85 million jobs, but create, I think, 100 million jobs in the back end. I think the best quote I've ever seen on this topic actually came from David Solomon, the CEO of Goldman Sachs. He was speaking at Cisco's AI Summit earlier this year, and he said something to the effect of, through every one of these technology shifts, we've destroyed jobs. But along the way, we've created more jobs in the back end of the shift as we grew the economy. And I think back to again, using the internet as an analogy, I recall the days, and in fact, if you remember pre-internet, if you wanted to take a flight, you actually had to go to one of those ridiculous kiosks downtown somewhere, go get a paper ticket, and then take that and have a flight coupon attached to it and all this work. And then when the internet came, people thought, well, it was going to destroy all those agent jobs, and it did. But because accessibility to flights became so much greater for people, the air industry has never been healthier, and it's actually never flown more people because you can buy a ticket online now. And a bunch of new jobs were created in the airline industry to replace the ones that were eliminated. And I think we're going to see a very similar trend where we're going to have a bunch of new jobs created. I really can't tell you what those are. I can tell you, though, if you think about the impact the internet had, it democratized access to information. AI democratizes access to expertise, and so we'll have more jobs built around expertise and analytics and things like that than we do today, which is, I think, good for everybody. And it's going to allow us just to do more things faster than we could before, and that's good for the entire economy.
Yeah, I think the conversation roams on about AI from both sides. But I mean, from a productivity standpoint, how does this change jobs for workers across the board?
Yeah, it's going to change jobs quite a bit. And I think it gives us access to information faster because we can interact with data much faster. For example, if you're, say, a sales manager and you wanted to understand how your team's performing, right now you would actually pull down a bunch of data from your CRM tool. You would give it to a data scientist in the company. They'd load it up into Excel or some kind of database. They'd do a bunch of stuff on it. And maybe a week later, you would get some results. Now, through agentic AI, you could actually just ask the system, who's my best performing salesperson? You could say, who's my best performing salesperson by region, by profitability, by volume, and you could interact with it like it's a coworker. In fact,
crazy.
I think
like
many
we're
of us
living in the future
like
right now. Yeah.
Yes,
crazy.
Zeus, this is such a fascinating topic for us. We're often talking about it, and we wish we had more time to go deeper on this. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
For more information and to connect with ZS, just visit zkresearch.com.